what's your take on the language in the bill as it stands now, the fact that this compromise did not happen?
I mean, there are a few, I think, really important comments here. I think the first is it's been remarkable over the past week to see the amount of engagement between the crypto industry, senators across both sides of the aisle, an enormous amount of work going in and really helping to get members of Congress to better understand the many, many different types of roles that exist in this broader crypto and blockchain ecosystem. There are infrastructure creators, open source software developers, miners, and then, of course, there are the intended targets of this provision, as clearly stated online last night from Senator Portman himself, which is the trading venues where people are trading, and there are taxes that are due as you trade, just like in a brokerage. And so I think the intended focus has been on brokerage-like activity. The language as originally put in overly broad. The bipartisan agreement that many senators brought to the floor, I think, is an outstanding resolution, or at least huge progress over what was there. And we'll see what emerges on this. Clearly, there does seem to be overall bipartisan support for getting this right and ensuring that the right actors in the ecosystem are collecting the right information in terms of taxes. But the other final comment I want to make on the infrastructure bill, I think what's most notable here is that in the United States of America, this is an infrastructure bill that's aimed at bolstering the fundamental infrastructure that's going to make this country more competitive. Nowhere in that infrastructure bill is an actual focus on advancing blockchain technology, which, if you look at the strategic priorities of China over the next 5 years, blockchain technology is a core focus. The United States is falling behind. Not only is there an issue on taxes here, the bigger issue is it's just not on the radar of anyone. And there's a lot of work to do to make sure that Washington better understands the importance of this economic infrastructure.
Well, and look, there's a lot of hesitance in Washington, even with respect to something that you just did today. You announced you filed with the SEC to become a U.S. federally chartered national commercial bank. You've got the Senate Banking Committee Chair Sherrod Brown, who's highly suspicious of fintech firms, and has made it clear that he's not necessarily going to support measures like this. Why do you want to be a bank? And what do you have to say to the skeptics?
Well, so just to clarify, we have not actually filed an application to be a bank. We announced today our intention to do so under an OCC charter as a national commercial bank. Importantly, we're focused on building a full reserve digital currency focused bank in the United States. I think the key things here are multifold. I think the first is we've seen this dramatic growth in dollar digital currency models, AKA stablecoins. USDC has grown pretty dramatically over the last year and a half. We believe that over time, there'll be hundreds of billions of dollars of these types of digital currency in circulation. That's a really important set of infrastructure for the payment system. It's a really important infrastructure for how financial activity, financial markets can work. And as it grows to that scale, we believe the right form of supervision is at the federal level. And is under the supervision of the Federal Reserve, the Treasury Department, OCC, and FDIC. So we want to pave that way. And in fact, if you look at the work that's going on in DC, the Presidential Working Group on Stablecoins, the attention is there. Clearly, the rise of these types of digital currencies is posing risks. It's also posing huge opportunities as well. And so as a company that's been very focused on being compliant, we want to be out in front of it at a national level. We believe this is going to be a really critical infrastructure for the future of financial markets and payments and commerce more broadly.